thank you Kate for inviting me that this is my second session. So tadi sudah already explain tentang bagaimana sih how we transform the library. I would like to share this is what we did and what we are still doing for the transformations library to the improvement social. And okay, so this program is started at 2018 and still running well until now. So we have achieved transformation information social inclusion. Jadi ada tujuan dari apa yang kita lakukan terhadap transformasi perpustakaan berbasis inklusi sosial. Yang pertama adalah first one is library as a center of the knowledge, as an activity and culture. And because paradigma di Indonesia, library is the place for reading book. So we just need to change the paradigma that library, we can do some activities in the library. And the second one, library give the facilities to the community to develop their potential. For example, like in Java, they are very unique village. So we facilitate them to provide some local, local content to make like a handicraft or something. And library is designed to be more useful for the community. Like we engage with the reading club, so we do some activity like reading aloud or something. And the fourth, library become the place to resolve the problem for the people's life, So we just provide some material from the resources. And here our what's wrong with this? Okay, what's wrong? And here our logical framework. So the impact for the library transformation based on social inclusions, creating prosperous society to the library information. So we have three outcomes. The first outcome is reducing information poverty through the information access provision. So we have sub output, so you may read, and also the outcome to improve the library service by the community, that the result can increase the quality of life that Dr. Shida said. And also the third one is sustainable support library development from the government, and also we engage for the private sector. So National Library also engage with the provincial library, with the sub-district, with the provincial, sub-district, village, to engage what we can do, what we can help people to have a better education, to be more creative, during the pandemic, because so many people get fired. So the library facility to give them like a training, what is the special, especially for every region, have a different training, depend on what the local needs. And here, because we are from National Library, so the focus program for the assistant, the first thing is capacity building. This is how we strengthen the capabilities. So we engage the library services from the provincial, regency, village, and also sub-district sub-district level, and collective movement. This is how we sustain the programs, how we encourage the collaborations, and how we synergy the strengthen to the community of the literature. And here the names of the assistants. I say this is capacity building, and this is the strengthening the strategy of the stakeholder. We engage the private sector, for example, like from the bank, what you can do, what you can support for the library itself, and also we do some monitoring and evaluation. For example, what is the library progress for the inclusive social? So we also build the information system management. So every library who already joined with our program, so they can input into our system information management. So we have a 3 keys. So if you already input what is the progress of what your library do, so with the final result, for example, we have a 3 level, the red level, the yellow level, and the green level. The red level, so it means that the report is still low, so you need improvement. What is it your library do? And if you have a final report is a yellow, so the program of your library is already running, but you still need improvement. The key indicator, if the system rate will be green, so the program for your library has been successfully. And here I will gonna show you the video.
Kesejahteraan merupakan hak masyarakat Indonesia yang menjadi amanat dalam Undang-Undang Dasar 1945. Di dalam visi pembangunan 2045, Indonesia berharap dapat mencapai ekonomi modern dengan kesejahteraan berkualitas. Untuk dapat meraih kedua tujuan tersebut, kemampuan literasi menjadi sebuah aspek yang sangat dibutuhkan. Karena faktanya berdasarkan studi Program for International Student Assessment atau PISA, yang dirilis pada 2019, Indonesia menempati peringkat ke-72 dari 77 negara. Global Knowledge Index UNDP pada 2022 juga menunjukkan bahwa Indonesia menempati peringkat ke-81 dari 132 negara. Untuk itu dibutuhkan upaya penguatan literasi di masyarakat yang dapat dilakukan melalui transformasi perpustakaan. Program transformasi perpustakaan berbasis inklusi sosial dilakukan secara selaras dengan UNESCO Institute for Lifelong Learning UIL Policy Brief 6 tahun 2016 yang menyerukan penggunaan perpustakaan dalam mendukung upaya literasi nasional. The International Federation of Library Association atau IFLA 2018 yang menyatakan perpustakaan mendukung semua tujuan SDGs. Upaya perpustakaan nasional untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup dan kesejahteraan masyarakat melalui perpustakaan yang inklusif sebagai ruang terbuka dalam memperoleh solusi. Program prioritas nasional dalam RPJMN 2019-2024 yang menekankan peran perpustakaan sebagai upaya pembangunan literasi. Adapun program transformasi perpustakaan berbasis inklusi sosial memiliki tujuan untuk meningkatkan kualitas layanan perpustakaan, meningkatkan penggunaan layanan oleh masyarakat sesuai dengan kebutuhan masyarakat, komitmen dan dukungan stakeholder untuk transformasi perpustakaan yang berkelanjutan. Transformasi ini diperlukan untuk menciptakan perpustakaan yang lebih menarik, inovatif, kreatif, dan memberikan pengalaman yang menyenangkan bagi pengunjungnya, sehingga perpustakaan dapat mengikuti perubahan dan tetap sesuai dengan kebutuhan kita semua. Singkatnya, perpustakaan dapat membantu masyarakat dengan menjalankan 3 strategi utama: menyediakan akses informasi melalui layanan bahan pustaka dan TIK atau Teknologi Informasi dan Komunikasi, memfasilitasi kegiatan sesuai kebutuhan masyarakat, dan melakukan advokasi kepada stakeholders atau para pihak untuk mengoptimalkan layanan yang berkelanjutan. Bagaimana program transformasi berbasis inklusi sosial ini dijalankan? Pertama, fokus kepada peningkatan kemampuan melalui bimbingan teknis dan mentoring atau pendampingan bagi staf dan juga pengelola perpustakaan. Tahap ini melibatkan master trainer dan fasilitator daerah untuk membangun kemampuan SDM lokal dan menjaga keberlanjutan program. Kedua, fokus kepada kolaborasi dan sinergi stakeholder untuk memperkuat kerjasama antara stakeholders atau para pihak di tingkat nasional, provinsi, kabupaten atau kota, dan desa atau kelurahan untuk mendukung transformasi perpustakaan secara terus-menerus. Ketiga, fokus kepada monitoring dan evaluasi untuk memastikan pencapaian tujuan dan kualitas implementasi dengan mengidentifikasi tantangan yang dihadapi dan pembelajaran yang dapat digunakan untuk perbaikan di masa depan. Keempat, fokus kepada komunikasi publik sebagai bentuk promosi dan publikasi perpustakaan, baik melalui media nasional maupun media sosial yang populer. Siapa saja yang terlibat dalam implementasi dan pelaksanaan program ini? Perpustakaan Nasional selaku penyelenggara program tingkat nasional, Dinas Perpustakaan Provinsi yang memimpin dan mengkoordinir tim sinergi provinsi yang berperan dalam mendorong kebijakan yang mendukung keberlangsungan program pada tingkat daerah, menjalin kemitraan dengan stakeholders atau para pihak untuk memberi dukungan nyata, melakukan pendampingan dan replikasi mandiri untuk keberlanjutan program. Dinas Perpustakaan Kabupaten atau Kota yang berperan melaksanakan implementasi strategi program di institusinya, melakukan replikasi mandiri dan pendampingan ke perpustakaan desa atau kelurahan. Perpustakaan desa atau kelurahan yang berperan melaksanakan implementasi strategi program. Selama setahun, apa saja tahapan kegiatan yang dilakukan dalam program transformasi perpustakaan berbasis inklusi sosial? Pertama, dilakukan seleksi mitra program. Kedua, sosialisasi kepada perpustakaan mitra program terpilih untuk meningkatkan pemahaman terhadap program dan komitmen untuk menjalankan program. Ketiga, pembekalan master trainer untuk dapat memfasilitasi bimbingan teknis pengelola dan staf perpustakaan. Keempat, pembekalan fasilitator daerah untuk dapat memfasilitasi pendampingan dan mentoring ke perpustakaan di wilayahnya. Kelima, bimbingan teknis untuk mengelola dan staf perpustakaan. Keenam, stakeholder meeting untuk menguatkan kolaborasi dan sinergi antara para pihak yang terlibat. Ketujuh, peer learning meeting untuk memfasilitasi proses saling belajar antar pelaku program. Kedelapan, monitoring dan evaluasi dengan memanfaatkan sistem informasi manajemen berbasis website dan aplikasi, serta dokumentasi dampak. Kesembilan, publikasi untuk membangun kesadaran publik melalui media arus utama nasional dan media sosial. Kesepuluh, mentoring atau pendampingan untuk memastikan kualitas pelaksanaan program oleh perpustakaan mitra. Kesepuluh tahapan ini akan dibahas lebih rinci dalam video-video berikutnya. Terima kasih. Salam literasi.
Oke, jadi fokus dari perpustakaan berbasis inklusi sosial yang dilakukan Perpustakaan Nasional or National Library adalah memberikan pelatihan kepada, so we give a training for all the librarian in overall Indonesia based on their local content dengan maksud dan tujuan supaya pelatihan tersebut bisa direplikasi oleh pustakawan hingga ke desa, sampai ke desa, dan output dari pustakawan yang sudah terlatih bisa mereplikasi semua kegiatan yang ada di perpustakaan hingga ke desa. Okay, and here our program achievement. Jadi, so Indonesia have 38 province with the 399 regency, city, more than 3,000 sub-district and village. So we did training for 106 master trainer, and also, yeah, you can see the data, more than 1,800 trainer for the regency, city staff, more than 3,000 village and sub-district. And the activity of library, we have been reached more than 100,000. How we engage the community with the library, and also community member more than 3 million members to involve. And here for when we talk about the budget, so our program is supported by government to be the main program since 2020 until this year. Based on the advocacy process, so we need fund from the governments. The total million is of more than 94 billion. Okay, here the program achievement. So as I mentioned, so we have a key performance indicator. Every library has done with the social inclusion. So yeah, that I mentioned, we have a K for that. And the successful of this program is the number of the community is enriched, and also they participating in what library do. And based on the advocacy, we engage the private sector, what you can support for the library, because on behalf of National Library, we have a power to engage the community, to engage the private sector, what they can involve. For example, like one activity in library, like reading community or something. Okay, what you can support to give our program. So we can collaborate, because National Library is the main library. So yeah, we have a power for that. And here we also build a management information system. Like I told that you can input the data, input the progress for the social inclusions to the system information management. So we will see the progress of your library. So the progress, if the progress is already with a green level, every year National Library of Indonesia will give a reward to your library. Yeah, the reward is many kind of reward, and also donations and also money and everything. Okay, my slide is not really long. Here the transformation for the library. The paradigm of the library is for nerd people, for only like a silent warehouse book or something like that. So we create how to be powerful for the library, how to engage them, how to be interested people will come to the library. And also we do many activities in the library, and we promote what is the activity itself to the social media. And here, one of the library in Desa Usabone, Sulawesi, it was like, wow, it's not really interesting, so we change the color, and we do like, we put so many posters or something like that. And yeah. Okay, and one more video. This is the successful story. That's the latest video. It's about the framework, but this is the testimony for the successful story about our program.
Spend all your time waiting for that second chance, for a break that would make it okay. There's always some reason to feel not good enough, and it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction. Oh, beautiful release. Memories seep from my veins. Let me be empty. Oh, weightless comfort here. So tired of the straight line, and everywhere you turn, there's vultures and thieves at your back. The storm keeps on twisting. You keep on building the lies that you make up for all that you lack. It don't make no difference. Escape one last time. It's easier to believe in this sweet madness, all this glorious sadness that brings me to my knees in the arms of the angel. Fly away from here, from this dark cold hotel room and the endlessness that you fear. You are pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. In the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel, may you find some comfort here.
Okay, this video showing apa saja yang dilakukan di Perpustakaan Nasional atau Perpustakaan Nasional berikan kepada perpustakaan di daerah. Contohnya tadi teman gitu, kita memberikan pelatihan, we train for the computer, and finally dia bisa membuka jasa servis komputer. Dan juga tadi with the woman also kita pelatihan bagaimana membuat pempek, depend on the local. I said many time itu depend on the region itself. Kayak tadi di Palembang itu memang sangat terkenal dengan makanan pempek. So kita memberikan pelatihan itu, lalu mereplikasi program tersebut, dan akhirnya orang-orang di daerah sana bisa membuka usahanya, bisa memulai usahanya, dan itu bisa meningkatkan finansial dari penduduk setempat. And here partner library assessment. Jadi how we implement the program, and then how we improve the information of the services, how we improve the material, how we improve the human resource, and then how we engage, how we community engagement. So kita membawa proposal, oke, di perpustakaan A sedang ada kegiatan reading aloud atau memberikan pelatihan masak. So we provincial, maybe sub-district library, and also we engage with national library. We go to the provincial library. We do some discussion, advocations that program will be very useful for the local society. And here to increase the education of the community and change, because so many people come to our library, like Dr. Shida said, that I need a book, I need more information, so I need to enrich my skill, my knowledge. Jadi berdasarkan dari pengalaman-pengalaman seluruh pemustaka yang hadir ke perpustakaan kami, maka terbentuklah program ini. Okay, ini ada dari intermediate impact. So how we see the important to identify the impact. The first thing is change to occur a result of the program. The second one is a material for the advocacy to authority stakeholder to support the sustainability program. And the third one to become a learning material for the development for the next library program strategy. Yeah, this is one of the example intermediate impact. So from the right, from my website, ini jadi they don't have any motorcycle. So they go to the library how to bagaimana apa ini namanya ya saya bilang menternak ayam. So they come to our library and we give the training, and so finally dia bisa menjual ayam dan dia bisa membeli sepeda motor. Okay, and here's the impact area. Jadi the impact is not only for social welfare. Like for example, we have in education sector, like they attend to, we do like English training. Jadi mereka datang lalu mereka belajar bahasa Inggris, they learn how to speak in English, and finally they can teach English to their local community. And also from the agricultural sector, ini ada seorang nenek, her name is Fumi. Jadi, so she learned cultivate hydroponic plants, dan dia berhasil menyekolahkan empat cucunya dengan belajar untuk menanam hidroponik. And here disability empowerment, kita memberikan training pada saat itu adalah bagaimana membuat kerajinan dari sabun. Jadi dua-duanya ini, pasangan ini adalah blind people. So during the pandemic, they don't have any customer to massage. They did massage as a massage, and finally they can create their own they can make sabun and they can sell it. And also Mr. Made from Bali and get a fire during the pandemic, during the COVID, and now he creates his own business. Okay, our program also join collaboration. So the Colombo Plan, maybe some of you already heard about the Colombo Plan. The Colombo Plan through the State Secretary and also for Foreign Affairs Ministry of Indonesia see the successful of our program. So we do three institution collaboration to do the capacity program building, especially for Colombo plans, and also some of my colleagues in Malaysia joined that program last year, and this year our library also do the second time capacity building program. So if you are interested to join with the program, you may register or you may apply, because we are going to select 20 people, and so with the full accommodations is free. So the capacity building program about transformation based on social inclusion will be held in Jogja on August. And here the example for the life skill thematic restoration, what we do, like in on my left side. So ini membuat tiwul is like a snack, it's like rice chains. So we can do some other trainings, and also how to make a cassette. Do you know cassette, like cassette? You say it, yes. And also we try to make impact. This is what we have done. And also this one. So we already covered to all of Indonesia. This is transformation for building village. So library is not suram anymore. So it's more colorful with so many activities. Okay, I think that's enough for my presentation. Thank you.